Welcome back everybody to another video. Are you ready to work on your little Cherokee Sport? I'm here to help you out. So in this video, we're gonna go through all the parts, steps, tools, all the stuff you need to do and make your life easier, save you some money. So like, share, subscribe before you go any farther in this video. Please help me out. I'm just a little poor YouTuber with no money. Please help me. All right, let's get into it. Step 1, lift it off the ground. To take the wheels off, you need a 3/4 inch socket. Just go zip, zip, zip. Take the wheels off and get them out of your way. Part number for the front pan hard bar is MDS1235. The front steering stabilizer here, MS409123. Got some tie rod ends here. This is the right side, MES3095R. And then over here, we got MES3096L. We got one more tie rod end. It's a MES3094L. So we got a 9.4, 9.5, and a 9.6. It's time to change the steering stabilizer. We have a bolt and a nut here, 18 millimeters on both sides. So go ahead and take that all the way out. The top is connected to this bar here. There's a cotter pin in here. So I'm just gonna cut this cotter pin and then pull it out. The nut here is a 19 millimeter. Take that all the way off. The design of the new one's a little different. I'm reusing the factory bolt and nut. The kit came with new hardware, but I like that one better. So this is what's different. This piece here goes through the shock. This piece here goes through the arm. So we slide that through the arm like so, and we put a washer and a nut here, tighten that down, and then we'll grab the stabilizer and put it onto that stud. Slide the shock onto the stud, put the flat washer, lock washer, nut, and this is a 17 millimeter nut. So tighten that thing down all the way. Need to go through taking all these cotter pins off because we have everything brand new. So we're gonna rip all these cotter pins off. Here, 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 here. And then we'll get to loosening all the nuts and bolts. We're gonna have to use a flathead screwdriver and smash off some of this dirt. But yeah, so let's get to it. All of these nuts are 19 millimeter. So we're gonna remove all of them together. I have the new bar here that goes up to this shackle. The part number for that bar is a MDS1238. We're trying to make this match the factory length one since we're trying to get the alignment somewhat close. So we have two skinny ones and one thicker one. So the thicker one is for the one from the steering rack slash pitman arm slash steering box, whatever you feel like calling it. So I only have this thing on like 1.5 threads. So we're gonna thread this in 1.5 threads. Oh, this is a reverse thread on this guy. So once we got them more or less the same, get the center collar, you hold everything in the orientation it's going to go. So this is straight up, that one on this side straight up, and we're just going to shrink this down. Because you did this when they both only had like 2 threads, they should be equally pulled in to the centerpiece here. Then that way you don't have one like barely in and one all the way in. Now I'm going to go outside, measure the factory one, and I'm going to measure from this hole to this stud. And then I'm going to match that distance from this stud here to this hole over here. The distance for me from the center of this, right here, to the center of this was 11.25. Now we're going to put these on like so, and then just hand snug this hardware. The next box I'm going to open is the bar that goes from the driver's steering knuckle to this hole here. That is part number MDS 1326S. Here is the bar. Come over here. I'm gonna measure from center to center to see my distance. We're gonna copy that over here, and that'll get you right in the general area of how it's gonna be when you put it in the vehicle. Since the steering is close enough, we tightened all this down, tighten these down, here, 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 and here. And then when the alignment shop gets it, they're gonna have to loosen these back up to do toe. But for now, it's good. This one can be tightened all the way. This one can be tightened all the way. And all the ones with the cotter pins can be tightened all the way. Now we're removing and replacing this panhard bar that goes through here. Down here is a 15mm bolt. The nut has this tab so it won't just magically fall apart. Come up here, use a pair of side cutters, cut this cotter pin off and pull it out. After getting the cotter pin out, you put a 19mm socket with a wrench and take the nut all the way off. Use a jack of some sort and lift up the axle about a ½ inch. Once you got the nut off, grab you a big ass hammer and just pound on it until it breaks loose. Once it's broke loose, finish removing the bolt over here. Here's what the nut looks like. So now it's hanging. You just grab this and pull this bolt out the rest of the way. Or you can do this. Garbage! We're going to do the opposite of that now. Grab the new part, like so. Make sure it's oriented the right way. So you want that to be pointed up. Slide it in. You got this ball joint here. Obviously we got to take off the castle nut. We got this bolt in. Now I'm going to grab the nut, hold the nut, and put this in a few threads. I couldn't get this to line up, so I put a ratchet strap from there to the sway bar and just gave it a few ratchets, and that pulls the axle over, which then gave me enough room to get that guy lined up. The castle nut on my new part is a 17mm, not a 19. So I'm gonna go ahead and slowly tighten that guy down. I want to make sure it's like fully threaded before I start wrenching on it, because there's a taper part of this, and if the taper is not in the hole, then you're just going to strip the top couple threads off, and then you're going to have a bad day. So yeah, this one went on pretty easy. So we're just going to finish tightening this guy down. I'm going to tighten this down, have the cotter pin hole lined up, and then from there I chuck the cotter pin in, bend it up, and this one is done up here. Now that that's tight, we're going to come here, undo the ratchet strap first, take this all the way off, then take the jack off and lower the axle. Replacing the sway bar end links now. You have an 18mm nut here, so we take that off. The nut on the top of the sway bar is a 15mm, so remove that nut, and we're going to do both sides at one time because we need the sway bar to move up in order to replace them, and that means we have to remove both or the sway bar won't move. So we'll just remove that 18, that 15, that 18, that 15. Sway bar moves, you pull it off the stud. Now we can remove the rest of this and just slide this off the stud, throw it in the garbage. You're going to save the washer and the nut. Part number for the sway bar end link is a K3174 or BD1011. I got the Mevo Tech. Grab the new one, undo the nut, take off the top washer and the bushing, set it off to the side for now. You might need a hand with this one because you need to put
both of them through the hole at the same time, and you need it to curve in towards the car on both sides, so up and over. So get it started first on that, and then we can get this guy started. We're gonna go ahead and tighten this top one first. I want it to sandwich in this hole nicely, and then at the end I'll tighten this bottom one. So you want it to be nice and squished in between. This will be nice and squished, and you can tighten all this without it being on the ground. I need to tighten this one here with it on the ground, so I can't, you know, tighten this panhard bar unless it's sitting on the ground. Now the car's on the floor. We're gonna tighten this the rest of the way down, so the bushing is in the normal ride position and not bound up. To get it tight, I use the double wrench trick. You put this on the bottom of that, give it a nice little oomph. And one more. It doesn't move, done. Hopefully this video helped you out, save you some money, let you do it yourself. Till next time, wrench on. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe, help me out with this algorithm. It's murdering me, and I'll see you in the next one.